Welcome, Black Hollywood Live fans. On today's Fit Club, we talk fish pedicures, self-care, and couples fitness with multi-talented entertainers Nikki Limo and Steve Greene. Stay tuned for more.
You're tuned into Black Hollywood Live, Fit Club.
What's up, Fit Clubbers? We are back again. My name is Shaka Smith. You can find me on Twitter, Instagram, and Snapchat at Shaka Strong. Miss Trinidad, where can they find you?
You can find me on everything at TK Trinidad and also TNZ Talking That Ish.
And we are joined by our awesome guests, Nikki Limo and Steve Greene. Thank you guys so much. Where can they find you guys?
You can find me on Instagram, Steve Greene Comedy.
What about Twitter, though?
You can find me on Twitter, Steve Greene Com.
Wow, terrible branding.
You can find me on YouTube at Steve Greene Comedy.
Oh my God. I'm at Nikki Limo across the board. You can find me on YouTube, Nikki Limo. It's very, very easy for you to find me.
Nice, very good branding.
Some shade right there.
I got good branding too, right?
You want to burn me? Go
No,
ahead.
I got good branding too.
Oh, no, you don't.
Well, I got to thank you guys for joining me again. We're going to talk a couple of different fitness stories, and then we're going to talk a little bit about your guys' fitness journey and I guess your recent nuptials and how things may have changed as a result.
Yeah.
Yeah, we'll get into it.
Yeah, he made me fat.
Oh,
You made me fat.
wow.
You made me fat.
You heard it here, right?
You get married and you become fat.
Excuse me? Are you calling me fat?
No, I'm fat.
Well, I got married. Am I fat?
I mean, you said you're fat, so
Wow.
we'll go with that.
Wow.
We'll go with that.
Wow.
Well then.
Well, hopefully.
How
We have a
long
great
is
marriage,
this?
everyone.
Yeah,
We
is
have
this
a
almost
really
over?
great marriage.
Really solid grab. Well, the first story we have to talk about, and I think this is one you guys have talked about, because you guys also have a podcast.
Yes.
We do.
Yeah.
Shit they don't tell you.
Shit they don't tell you. I love it.
Yeah.
Available on everything. You can get it on iTunes and
Yes.
everything.
Everything.
Well, I try to think we do a little bit of that here, and I think part of that is these fish pedicures, and who knew that they're not really pedicures and you could lose your nails. There's one incident of a woman who, about a few months after getting her fish pedicure, her nails started to fall off. It turns out that this could happen, and a lot of people don't attribute it to the actual pedicure because it happened so far afterwards. I was just surprised by this. I know you guys, as entertainers, especially in LA, there's different little fads, different little things kind of like that we call self-care, but we kind of go doing it without too much research. Have you guys fallen prey to that? Do you guys try to filter that out?
Have you done the fish thing? You've done it, right?
No, I haven't. But I know several people that have, but not in the U.S. Usually, like when they're traveling, they've done it. I personally, I wouldn't want to do anything where they don't clean out the water every time. Like that's nasty.
It's like it's the same fish.
Like yeah, I'd be down for the fish. Like that part doesn't disgust me as much as just like the same water that a million people are putting their feet into.
Yeah.
Ugh.
Yeah, no, you see, that's a good thing because I know when I get my pedicures, you actually
Yeah.
you see them wash it out,
Yeah.
and some people even do an extra thing. They actually put the plastic bag in it.
Yeah, that's
And-
what
yeah.
my salon does.
So you have
the
those two
liner.
options. But yeah, to think about you're putting your in the same.
Yeah.
Would you do it? Would you do the fish thing?
No.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I mean,
right? You wouldn't do it.
Not after this recent story. They actually did an audit of some of the fish, and some of the fish were like had bacteria, were throwing up.
Yeah.
Like I mean, like you don't really see.
They were like eating
They're
because they're
dead
eating.
sponges.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The fish themselves were sick. You
Is there
know?
like a Pocostomus on the side of the thing?
It's like it's not supposed
Like a little diver man in there too? Like, what the
I
hell
was
is
just
this?
like, oh my god. So yeah,
Rabies fish.
yeah. But I just find in LA, there's like whether it's cryotherapy. Or
Yeah.
it's just there's always these new things that people kind of want to go out and try.
I get made fun of because I do like the new agey things sometimes, just because I'm curious about that stuff. I think it's really like fun and interesting to learn about different meditations, acupuncture, the like new wave homeopathic healing, like that kind of stuff. I think it's interesting. I don't take it super seriously, but people like people that aren't in LA.
Yeah, LA is a whole
What
different
is he
beast.
super
doing?
hard.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But then also too, if it's something like the cryotherapy, you can kind of link it to something like ice baths. So the transition kind of makes sense. People have been doing ice baths for years.
Yeah,
And
athletes.
yeah, you can kind of understand it. Or you see the athletes dunking in water, which is all terrible. So now you can do the cryotherapy where you're in there for 3 minutes. It's not as bad. So you can kind of see the science. Like
Yeah.
nobody's lost their limbs yet.
Yeah.
Doing the ice bath, so the cryo doesn't seem. So there's science behind it. but
There
it makes
was that
sense.
one poor employee who had locked herself in and she died.
Well,
yeah.
oh
They
my
found her the next
God.
morning. Yeah.
She locked herself in the cryo thing?
Yeah, my mistake. Yeah.
Well, I mean,
Oh my god.
she locked herself in. Nobody went in there for 3 minutes and lost limbs.
Yeah, yeah.
Do they
Oh
still
my
use
God.
that chamber? Are they like, hey, we cleaned it? It's chill.
No, it's probably well preserved, I'd imagine.
It's gotta be one of the worst ways to die.
Yeah, just like, oh. But I guess you fall asleep probably slowly.
Oh, that's on the bright side. I like that. Yeah, that's true.
That's how they say to kill lobster, is put them in the freezer alive.
wow.
And then they just go to sleep forever.
I watched my dad make a lobster for my mom when I was a kid, and that thing was
Screaming?
hanging in the oven, hanging on the edge of the thing. It was nuts.
That's so sad.
It was intense.
I didn't go vegan for ethical reasons, but that's like, you know.
Yeah.
That checks your boxes.
Yeah, that's good.
I have done yoga with cats before.
Oh.
One of those little cat cafes.
That is a little bizarre. Yeah.
Off of Melrose.
That's some LA
It
shit.
was in Santa
Even in
Barbara,
LA,
but
that's a
similar
little-
concept. Yeah.
They have the goat one too.
Yeah. They're yoga with goats.
Yeah.
I feel like even LA people walk by you doing that, and they're like,
Yeah.
nah, man.
Yeah.
Nah, they're on their way to their crystal meditation class.
Oh,
What are you talking about?
Well, so I mean, this may not apply to you, but they say that hardworking women have to go home earlier than hardworking men. They're saying that a study of 7,000 Canadians, so maybe that's an outstanding factor.
Just for
but
Northerners.
7,000 Canadians over 12 years found that women that worked 45 hours or more per week versus women that worked 35 to 40 were at 63% higher risk for getting diabetes. Which is
Was that just because they're
pretty crazy.
snacking at work?
Yeah, hell yeah.
Like,
You know, they actually controlled for factors like smoking, exercise, and food, and they actually found very little difference. So they're not sure why it's happening. Some of the
It's because they have a secret drawer and they snack at work.
Right.
the secret drawer.
Yeah.
Or they have
But-
snacks at work.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Like little candy bowls.
Oh
and
my
stuff.
gosh, TMZ, they have a whole wall.
Oof.
And you go into this closet, and the closet is just full of candy.
Yeah, and a lot of people don't
Disasters.
report that when they snack that much, when they
Yeah.
grab a handful, because they don't realize what they're doing. So they're like, "Oh, I eat very healthy. I eat a salad for lunch.
Yeah.
I eat da da da
Yeah.
da." But then they're not counting all those.
Yeah.
But I think the same would have been said for the men though. So they didn't find that with the men. You know, the men that worked more than 40 hours a week.
That's because women
Really?
work harder.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I think you have to account for
no.
stress too. Stress, like you might have women who are single moms, or sometimes it's always been noted that the women might take more on her plate. So not only does she have the job, she might have a family, or she might be trying to get a family. It's all these factors. And in Canada in particular, we have a huge, great middle class. And if you're trying to escape that middle class and go into something that's a little like, you know, the upper 1%er, that's a whole nother beast. That's not like here where you're either poor or you're rich.
Yeah.
You know, the middle class is very, you know, if you're trying to escape that middle class and become richer, you have to put in those hours.
Well, that was one of the things I thought was interesting. Is they're saying that women go home and like take care of the kids. You know,
Yeah.
the men go home, they work.
They never
45,
shut
but
the
they're
clock off.
Yeah.
You're always working. Also, I think there's a lot of research that supports that women are better at multitasking, like, or they tend to do more multitasking, whereas men are better at like focusing on one specific task and
Absolutely.
like
Yeah.
putting everything into that one thing. I know when I ask him to do like
I can't
3
multitask
things,
for anything.
he burns out. Like he stops hearing me after
If
the
I
first
go to
time.
the grocery store with more than 3 things in my head to
true.
remember, I can't remember. I have to write it down.
Well, yeah, you should write it down.
But you know what I mean? Like
But if I'm like, go to the grocery store and then go fill up the gas tank or
Yeah,
something.
forget it. It's
you
over.
can't-
Only
Can't
one
do
of those
it.
Yeah,
things.
no.
is happening.
I can't do it.
Well, and another sad confounding variable was they found that women are on average paid less than men, so that they're having to work harder for the same amount of money.
73 cents.
Yeah, and when they actually did a little bit of balancing for men, it was a small percentage of men that also get paid less, but they also had a higher risk factor for diabetes. So it might be that they're working all these hours, but for the smaller pay, so it's probably more stress, you know.
Yeah, so that spikes their blood sugar or something.
Something.
Spikes something. I sound like I'm a doctor. Hi.
Well, I mean,
I know everything now.
how have you dealt with that in terms of like, have you tried to manage yourself, not working too much, or trying to get some balance?
Yeah, I've tried. It doesn't work. Like I work. I never feel like I've done enough. At the end of the day, I always feel like I could have done more. And when I wake up in the morning, I'm always like, I should have woken up earlier. And it's not a good habit to put yourself in that mindset that there's not enough hours of the day. So I do consciously try to be more mindful, or like incorporate mindfulness in the mornings and do meditation and like something that slows my inner craziness down a little bit so that I can be more efficient in the hustle. But yeah, I mean, it's hard. Here in LA, I'm sure you know, like, you're hustling all the time. You're not just working one job. You're wearing many hats throughout the day. So at some point, you do have to tell yourself to take the hats off. But I don't know. I don't know when that time is.
Yeah. I think it's like the North American mentality. Like as far as you work until you can't work anymore, and then you die.
Yeah.
Like whereas other places where they take, for instance, in Trinidad, when Carnival happens, don't expect anything. Don't call the government for anything for 6 weeks. So it's like it's because people are actually celebrating life. When there's a funeral, people are actually celebrating life. Whereas here, it's like, oh, somebody died, I'll be there, but then I have to be here for this time, and I have to be here, and I can't miss work, and I have to do this, and I have to do that.
Yeah.
Like
But funerals suck, man. It's so
Not
bad.
if you've been to a West Indian one.
Oh, really? They're
Yeah,
great.
it's a
They're
celebration.
celebrating life. Yeah. Instead of mourning death,
Yeah,
they're celebrating
it's-
life.
We used to live. There was like a morgue, like a mortuary, like in basically built into our building where we used to live, and
Well, it was like next door to the building.
it was next door to the building,
It was
so
like
we
a-
shared the parking lot with them. And every morning, as I was leaving for work,
see
like
people
you see the
crying.
people on the saddest day of their lives,
gosh.
and I'm just trying to go to work.
Yeah.
So I'm like, hey, look, I know this sucks, but like, can you get out of the driveway?
Yeah.
Like, I'm sorry.
Yeah.
It was intense, man.
Yeah, of course.
Oh, yeah.
No, and that's what I'm saying. It's like you have all this stuff, and it's like, no, you can. In other countries, it's different.
Yeah.
But we're so wired now that like we have to. In certain jobs, like social media is a very important thing. That's another 20 hours.
And then in Spain, they have siesta.
You can get off at 2:00 in the afternoon.
So
So
tight.
it's a different. I
Eat
think
and
that
nap.
article definitely also applies to North America. So it's just one of those things where I think meditation and mindfulness is definitely an important thing that we need to incorporate. And I think LA is on the forefront of that, where in other places they're like, you want me to sit still for 10 minutes with the.
I don't have
Well,
time for that. Yeah.
Do you have that problem? I've worked with you before, and
Yeah.
it's all usually just a lot of fun. You know, you're a comedian, everything's just fun. But do you have to? Is there a balance for you? Do you have to say this is like work fun, and then you need to decompress from that, or?
Yeah, because from writing, like, a lot of my time is spent writing scripts and stuff, and doing that is really fun, but it's also part of my job. So it's like you have to just, sometimes like there's shit that I don't want to write, and I'm like, I have to write this because this is what I have to do. So you just have to, remind yourself that you haven't made it yet, so you can't do whatever you want.
Yeah.
Even though you have a blank page doesn't mean you can do whatever you want on it, right? You have to do the game enough to where you get to the point where you're like Spielbergian, where you can just make whatever the hell you want.
So is that what making it is? Like, when is that line? 'Cause I think we all have this. We all have these lines in our head, but we never quite get
I feel like
there.
the
right?
line continues to move.
Yeah, like
the
Tom
farther
Cruise
you
is still
get-
working. All these guys, and
Yeah.
they're like actively seeking more movie roles. You know?
Yeah, it's true. But I think that's a perfect example. I'd say between Tom Cruise and Denzel Washington, I can trust that whatever they make is probably really dope.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like, I trust them and their brand. Like, Denzel Washington, I can see any of his movies and I'm like, this is going to be tight. I haven't seen one bad Denzel movie. Can you even name one? I honestly can't. And Tom Cruise, it's like the same jam. I think one time maybe he had a weird movie. It was like Valkyrie. I was like, this movie kind of sucks. But he's generally like really reliable.
Right.
Like, and I think because they pick and choose and they have a great process for picking their projects and they
They're
only
able to
trust
say
certain
no.
directors.
Right. Yeah.
Exactly. So they get to that point where the line is, they are across that line.
Right.
Picking and choosing.
Well, yeah. On the flip side too, I was listening to The Rock, and he's like, he picks the movies that he really draws to, and some of his movies have been terrible.
He's drawn to a lot of movies.
Right. But the thing is, he has his own production company. He's the one, like, somebody will bring him an idea and he'll actually put it in house. So I think once you make for those three people, you've made enough money where you can afford to have a bad movie. So the pressure's not for The Rock in particular. I can't speak about Denzel and them, but the pressure's not as big because he legitimately said, I want to do an action movie. I want to be kicking people's asses, and that's the premise of his thing.
Yeah.
So he's making something that he loves to do, and he's always happy.
And I just saw Skyscraper, amazing movie. Like,
Was it really?
his
See?
movies?
Shock.
It looks
Yeah.
terrible.
No,
Yeah.
his movies
It
look
looks
like they
awful.
should be awful. Every movie
Yeah.
I've seen,
Yeah.
like, but
Baywatch?
I just end up. Oh, I didn't see Baywatch, but like Jumanji, I thought was gonna be awful, but it was so much fun to watch. And then Skyscraper was just like,
Skyscraper looks like a parody movie.
that's what I thought it would be like, and it was. I was riveted. Anyways,
It's a good concept.
Yeah.
Sponsored by The Rock.
I was gonna say, this is not an ad for Skyscraper, but
My
yeah,
bad, but I do love me some Rock.
I was.
Oh, I love the man.
Oh,
But
yeah,
man,
he's great.
But that
Yeah.
Rampage movie, I was like, damn, dude.
Yeah.
This shit is fucking crazy.
But that was part of my self care, and
What, watching The Rock?
yeah, of course, yeah, going to the movie. You know,
Did you take
On
a
a
shirt
day to
off?
relax.
No, I always find myself I'm always working. I don't go to the movies to,
Yeah.
to work. Did The Rock take his shirt off?
Yeah, that would. I
course
might.
he did.
I
Well,
might go
you
and
know
see
what?
it if he did.
I'm not taking
I
the bet if he
don't
didn't take that. He didn't take a shirt off.
I don't know that he did.
Oh, boo.
It's all just a whole movie of him taking his shirt off. And Shaka's like,
I
this is
would
great.
so watch
amazing.
that.
Dude, that
Baywatch,
Fast and
I loved
Furious
it.
movies.
Yeah, I would so watch that.
Fast and Furious movies, Vin Diesel got married in a tank top. Like, that shit was
He
amazing.
probably got married tanked up in real life.
Yeah.
Oh, guaranteed.
So another topic that kind of falls from all this is how to make your self-care routine work, how to make it stick. And so they're saying you want to do a couple things. The first thing is whatever your self-care is, just have fun. That for me, Skyscraper.
What is self-care? I don't know this. Yeah, I'm not familiar.
It's like meditation, yoga, mindfulness.
mindfulness.
And it's really like something that makes you feel creatively, like something for you, for your own self.
It centers you.
Yeah.
How did I miss this? I live in LA
You've
too.
never heard of self-care?
No, never.
I thought you were joking.
I swear.
No, well, yeah. So it's basically this idea that we're always kind of working, especially in 24-hour society with the phones, that you want to take a moment to unplug and say, "Here's what I need, so I can be more productive."
He does that you do it with GTA 5
Oh, that's
already.
true.
You
I
you
do.
do that,
I do it with
but
Grand
you
Theft
just
Auto.
don't call it self-care.
Oh, that's true. That's my
Yeah.
self-care, yeah.
So you're
When I'm
just-
stressed
you're
out, like,
living
I gotta
already.
play Grand Theft Auto 5.
Yeah.
You need to call it self-care if you're not giving it to yourself. That's why we're all like, oh yeah, we need self-care, we need self-care. So that is your version of self-care. Is
That's my
Grand Theft Auto.
self-care, absolutely.
Yeah.
And do you schedule that, or do you like kind of just do it? When
No,
you
I just wing it. You know what
Yeah.
I'm saying? Into
It's
the sun,
whenever
dude.
he's stressed.
It's whenever I'm really feeling it, yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
Is that? Do you find it's the same time of day?
No, it depends. Like when my grandpa died, like I was on that thing for like a day
Yeah.
because it was just weird. It was just
Yeah.
a weird feeling. So I was just on there because it really just makes me laugh.
Yeah.
Like it's really funny, and like there's a bunch of little kids on there, and you get to kill them, and you get to harass the hell out of them, and tell them that you want to have sex with their parents and stuff. It's really fun. So because of that, I'm able to like decompress and all that.
Yeah, because you're doing stuff that makes you laugh.
Yeah.
That's what I say. Make sure it's something that, like, we have this idea it's got to be yoga. If it's not yoga for you, it doesn't need to be yoga.
It's not going to be yoga for Steve.
Yeah, no. Yoga's a pain in the ass.
Do you do anything? Like, do you have a go-to?
I do all the things. So like I'm always, the thing that makes me happiest is like doing something new, like doing something that switches up the routine, doing something fresh. So I love yoga, I love hiking, I love doing all the classes in LA. There's lots of fitness classes that are fun. But I also like to pick up a new skill every year. So like this year it's been watercolor. Last year it was like nail art, and then like I did jewelry making one year, and I get really, really into it. Like try to be the best, like basically an expert of it by the end of the year.
Oh wow.
And it's fun because it's like I don't really like things unless I'm being like challenged creatively, and then I get joy from like figuring it out or like finally like finding the piece in it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So there's that. I was a dancer for a long time. I was a hula dancer, a hula and Tahitian dancer, and that used to be my meditation. But I don't know. I haven't really found that since I moved to LA 10 years ago.
Well, one of the things they say is to turn off the phone. Are you turning off the phone during these
Never.
Yes.
this
Never.
time? No.
So
No,
important.
I would want to have a bad time.
Do you ever try to like actively turn off the phone or no?
Absolutely not.
Dude, you really should.
I would have that thing installed inside of my brain if I could, and it
I
would make my
wouldn't go
life
that
better.
I feel like it pretty much is.
Yeah.
Well,
But
not
yeah, I
enough.
don't turn off the phone either.
Really?
Well, because you just never. Well, my thing too is the news.
Yeah.
So if anything is breaking news, like I need to be on top of that. Like I can't afford to turn off the phone. What I do before I go to bed is I try not to like answer emails. I try anything that I was supposed to do for that day. A half an hour before that, I try not like it's not going to get done.
Yeah.
So I just kind of do that. That's kind of one of my main things. But like even during certain workouts, it like the phone. I have the phone positioned just in case the boss calls or somebody else calls or something needs to get done because it needs to get done.
Oh, okay, that's too stressed. So I keep my phone on silent all day. Just I look at the phone when I need to look
You're
at
lucky.
it. I mean, but I still look at it often just because I'm like addicted. But
Yeah.
I have to keep it on silent because I can't have a little buzz or a little
Right.
thing kind of like disrupt my flow.
Workflow, yeah.
okay, yeah.
Yeah, if I'm editing a video and I have to have it done by a certain point, I cannot have the phone around me because
Yeah.
the phone is like
Distractor.
my GTA 5. Like if I get stressed out, I start going to my phone. I
Yeah.
don't even know I'm reaching for my phone,
Yeah.
but it's just because I'm stressed and I'm procrastinating.
Yeah, and 20 minutes later through Instagram, you know,
Yeah.
somebody else's life. But yeah.
And you're looking at someone like you don't even know who's like 10 people removed. But
Yeah.
you somehow, what am I
And then I'm
doing?
like, why am I so sad? I'm so sad all the time.
I'm not getting my work done because I'm on this goddamn phone.
Yeah. But even things like getting my nails done, I feel like I didn't really do any of the girly stuff until like 3-4 years ago.
Yeah.
And having a skincare routine, like that kind of stuff, I didn't realize how much that affected my like confidence
Yeah.
and self-esteem and stuff. So even when we're trying to save money, like I won't cut those things out just because if I don't feel my best, I can't do my best work.
Yeah.
So it all like plays into each other.
Yeah, I
Yeah,
have a
now-
nail routine too.
Yeah, and that was another thing about the self-care is that it's sort of like that whole airplane thing is like put the oxygen on you before you put it on the kid.
Yeah.
That you can't really give of yourself if you yourself are not like whole. Right?
Yeah.
So, and another thing is they said to have an accountability partner. So, do you guys are you each other's accountability partner, or do you guys have friends who are like, hey,
Absolutely
take care of yourself?
No way in hell. No.
Nope.
You never like unplug, you're working too hard, or like.
No. God, no. It's really just, I think we're each other's like
Sounding boards.
Sounding board.
Yeah.
Bounce
Yeah.
board.
Yeah, because we're pretty independent. Like even going to classes, going to yoga, I like doing that alone. Like that's maybe it's an introvert extrovert thing. I'm very like I need to be alone to recharge.
Yeah.
So if someone's buzzing me like, did you do this today, or have you taken time off? I feel stressed. Like it does the opposite effect.
Yeah, I'm an extrovert, so I like to go to social situations to recharge, and so
Yeah.
that's like, in fact, a couple years ago when we first got together, that was like our big thing. It's like I was always wanting to go out with friends, and then you were always wanting to stay in.
Right.
But we found a good mix because eventually I just got sick of people.
Yeah, it's true. Last week I wanted to go out more, and he was like, I can't. We've been socializing too much. I'm like, wow,
Exactly.
things have changed.
Exactly.
So that's a nice balance you guys have found with each other. How long have you guys been together?
5 years and 3 months or something.
Yeah, wow, he knows it.
5 years, 3 months.
To the day. Damn.
How many hours?
Yeah, he's like, and then we've known each other. We were friends for about 4 years before. Yeah, before we got together. So like almost 10 years total.
Yeah, that's true.
So you guys have just kind of even been on a fitness journey just as a result of life. It's
Yeah.
not even like specifically.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, I guess fitness journey in the sense that I've gotten significantly fatter.
Oh boy.
Well, have your eating habits changed? 'Cause I know you're a pescatarian.
Yeah.
But mainly plant based.
Yeah.
And so did you?
Honestly, my moving habits changed.
Yes.
Where like
He
I
used
used to just work at Maker Studios and I'd go do videos and stuff all the time. So I was always moving around.
You're on your
But then
feet.
I became like writer guy and I don't really go places.
He just sits in a chair all day.
Yeah.
Yeah. And then if you're not carving out that time to
Yeah.
get
exactly.
up and move,
Then you're not moving.
then you're not moving. So counting steps has been a big thing. I think I've pushed you
Oh, for
towards
sure, yeah.
doing more
Yeah.
steps, especially leading up to our wedding, because I was doing this hardcore regimen and he wasn't doing anything, and I'm like, what are you doing?
And then I went to the gym.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because you were doing that thing. You're like, you'll see. 1 month before the wedding, I'm just gonna do this thing, and
And I did.
yeah, but you didn't get to where you wanted to be, right?
No, I got pretty close.
Yeah?
I was
Okay.
really close.
What did you do? What was the thing?
You looked good, by the way, but I'm just
Thank you.
saying you wanted to
I looked
look.
incredible. Let's be honest.
You said you were gonna get like
looked
super
unbelievable.
cut. You were like, I'm gonna be 2013 Steve, basically.
I didn't quite get there.
Yeah.
I didn't quite get there. Yeah.
But I mean, metabolism changes and stuff.
I think that was the big thing.
And you haven't been moving. So there was two things together that were like,
Yeah, you think you're like, oh, I'll snap right back. 'Cause I
Yeah.
didn't,
Yeah, not quite. You know, you kind of get cocky in your 20s,
Yeah.
and then when
Yeah.
you hit a wall in your 30s, and you're like, wait a minute. It's kind of like when you hit from 19 to 20, you're like, all of a sudden, you're like, man, I can gain a lot of weight quickly.
Yeah.
Like, but you really couldn't before that, or I couldn't before that.
Yeah.
I was
So
the
I was tall,
opposite.
skinny guy.
I was chubby in high school, and then I lost weight like senior year, and then after that I got skinnier each year. Like I got not skinnier, but like more tone, like more fit. But then when
Don't you officially hate her now?
no,
Yeah,
no, but,
exactly.
no, but
Yeah, same.
but then there's a curve. Don't worry. So then when I stopped working as a waitress, the same thing happened, and I put on 20 pounds immediately when I started just editing all day.
Yeah.
So that was a big thing for me because I'm like, wait, because I didn't have the thing where I was fast metabolism, then it got slower as I was aging up until senior year of high school. I was like, doing pretty well, like I was like, oh, I was chubby for a long time, and then now it's on the up and
Happy
up.
days are
I
here.
figured it out. I just eat healthy and you go do workout.
Yeah.
But waitressing, I didn't consider is a lot of steps. It's a lot of walking, and I just cut that out immediately when I stopped waitressing.
Yeah, it's like you're walking around Disneyland like in a day.
Yeah,
Like, at
basically
waitressing. It's
every
crazy.
day.
And
Yeah.
figuring out means like you figure out that you don't actually figure it out because your body changes so constantly as you get
Yeah,
older that
yeah.
like you have to keep up with it.
Yeah.
You look literally identical to when I met you.
That's the goal.
And that
man.
was like,
Yeah.
man, what? I don't know, 8 years ago or something?
yeah, like 6. Yeah.
Yeah. That's
A vegan
crazy.
lifestyle.
Yeah, man.
Yeah.
Man, that's
And
why
you
I
weren't
had-
even, were you vegan back then?
No,
no, you weren't.
That's what I had to adjust because I was
Yeah.
like, I gotta do something. But we see that with Lena Dunham, who actually just made a post about this, where she had been chasing this ideal and had achieved it, but now she's a lot happier. I think we have a picture of her from her Instagram. And so the left was when a few years back when she said she was
girls.
Yeah, and then she said she was absolutely miserable. She couldn't stand that girl. She was like living on this crazy diet, pharmaceuticals and coffee. And then here she is actually happy. She's got the puppy. She's strong. And that the compliments she gets are from meaningful people now, whereas the compliments she got before was from
Yeah, but here's the thing though. It's like she was probably doing all the pills and all this other stuff. Not to say she should be that skinny again, but is she eating completely unhealthy and not working out?
Right.
And in the long run, that's not going to be good for her anyway.
Yeah.
So she needs to find a healthy medium where, okay, I can eat a little bit healthier, because that doesn't look like healthy chunky.
Right.
Like there's chunky.
It's true.
There's some chunky people who look like, okay, all right.
Yeah.
Like you see football players, especially defensive linebackers. There's 6'4", 300 pounds. They can run you over and they have a good heart.
Mm-hmm.
Then you see people that can barely walk up the stairs, and it doesn't look like she's walking.
Yeah, it's like love your body, but also be healthy.
Yeah.
Look, I'm coming with the body positivity. You guys
No, but look.
Stop it, Shaka.
Here's my thing, Shaka.
But I mean,
Every time people talk on Instagram or anything about how happy they are, I know how miserable they truly are. Like people who are happy don't talk about how freaking happy they are. Like here I am here and I'm so happy. Like I don't buy it. I immediately, I don't know. I'm cynical with that shit because I've seen it a million times.
Because if she posted the chunky, like that version of her being happy, like doing something active, then I would believe
she was
it.
walking to the dog.
she's holding groceries, man.
She's like doing the errands. But what she did acknowledge though was that sometimes she has the longing to be that girl on the left, but she remembers what she was mentally
But
and
she can
emotionally.
get there in a fit way. Because just because she had unhealthy behavior in the picture on the left doesn't mean that she can not do like healthy behavior and get there. You can get back
absolutely.
down. You can lose weight and be healthy too. They're not mutually exclusive.
Or she can stay that way and be healthy.
Yeah.
She could do that too. She can still eat whatever she wants to an extent, and then at least just add some working out in, and then maybe cut back the calories a little bit.
But you're
And
saying based on what you're seeing, this is probably not a healthy way for her.
Look, based off of what I see and the interviews that I've seen, and we've covered Girls, the show. I was actually on the panel for that. She seems like I'm happy this way. I can eat whatever I want because I don't care about being skinny anymore. But I'm not gonna do that BS as far as being on the elliptical for an hour because that's bullshit. Like that seems like the person that she is now, which is not the case. Like you don't have to do the elliptical. You don't have to do, but you still need to find something that you like, whether it's pole
movement.
dancing or
Yeah.
whatever. Because if she's writing shows and all this stuff, guaranteed she's sitting more now than she was before.
Right.
So, and then she's richer. So usually people, when they get rich, they can afford the nicer food and they can buy meals all the time. So
You get that blue apron and all that. Why don't you do that? I would do that every day.
So she can go either way. It just doesn't seem, and I might be wrong. Hit me up, Lena. But it just doesn't seem like she's doing the healthier way where you're eating healthy. Like if you eat like a shit ton of salad and something else, and then add a side of cheesecake, then okay, you at least added the workout in, you did that. But if you're just eating burgers and fries every day and then adding some pancakes in the morning, and you want to claim that's happy with your little dog, you're only gonna be alive for so long.
Well, please address all comments to TK Trinidad.
Hey, bring them to me too, man. Come on and get me. I don't care.
But I will say when I was super depressed, like at my lowest, and I've struggled with depression all my life, but at my lowest point was when I looked like the best. Like wasn't eating. I was maybe having a beer for dinner. I was
really hot.
I was
She looked real
super
hot.
broke, super broke, going through a breakup, working as a waitress, and I was like the skinniest and best looking that I've ever been. Like everything was toned because I was walking all the time.
Poor.
Right, I was poor and stuff, but I was so depressed. I would cry myself to sleep every night, and people, after I gained weight, people were making comments on YouTube like, "Whoa, like you put on a lot of weight, you let yourself go." And that was actually after I made a recovery and was like finding happiness in my life. So I do agree. Like there is some truth to like finding yourself, and maybe that's not the same picture that you looked like back then, but it doesn't mean I don't try to get healthier. Like I really still am trying actively to get down, every day and tone up and be like closer to how I was back then, but not in an unhealthy way.
Yeah, I was gonna
It
say.
doesn't mean that you have to do it like drink a beer for dinner again and like, what did I do back then? I'll
Yeah,
do
I was
exactly
sad
that.
then.
You know,
Steve,
I gotta
make
get
me sad.
Yeah.
Insult me.
Yeah, exactly.
I was gonna say, yeah. How have you guys dealt with dealing with emotions and growing, whether it's body positivity or fitness, being in the public eye? Because you kind of start off when you're making these videos and with people not really knowing who you are, then all of a sudden you get more attention, and it's like, oh, I can't turn back. Was that an issue for either of you?
Not for me, no. I mean, I always knew I wanted to do this kind of stuff, so it was very much like I'm just gonna do it, and then if people watch it, great, and if they don't, okay, fine, I'll just keep doing it.
Yeah, kind of the same too. Although I blew up, or not blew up, but like my video went viral on MySpace first, and this was
you're taking
back,
it back.
way back in the day.
What
This was
do we have likes?
2007.
What was? How did you know?
It got featured on the front page of the video page,
nice.
and there was 2 videos that would get featured every day, only 2.
Yeah.
And mine was one of them, and then all these followers started coming in, pouring in. That video got like 800,000 something views, which back then was like a lot.
it's
That
a
was
lot
like a
now.
ton. Yeah. Like very few people had a million views on anything. So yeah, it was like a lot. And I always wanted that as an entertainer. I wanted an audience. You know, you always dream of that. But what I didn't expect was all the hate. Like you, along with all the followers and the fans, you get like a fuck ton of hate, and they will find everything.
Which just must seem
to
so
hate
weird
you
because you're
on.
like, how do you even hate me?
Yeah,
you
you don't even know me. Yeah.
But see,
was
that's
one
like me and
video.
Lena Dunham. I don't have to know you to hate you. I just don't like you.
Well, she's done enough stuff, I feel like. Like, I only did one video.
That's true.
But yeah, I don't hate anybody.
No, I don't
by
hate
the
Lena
way.
Dunham. I'm just saying,
Dunham.
like, we've all been there, right? Where we catch ourselves criticizing the Kardashians and then talking like an hour later about how we should be nicer to people.
Yeah.
Like it's absurd, right? We're all hypocrites in this realm.
Yeah.
Like we're just people.
Yeah.
Like, that's what people do. We all just get together and we start sniping at shit because
Yeah.
it's fun.
Yeah. Well, so that made me more conscious of it.
Yeah. And I think too, the good thing about it in this day and age is that when you're getting hate, you kind of know that you've kind of made it, because the haters are the ones that are the most dedicated.
Yeah.
Like they're the ones that are going to be watching
that's true.
every episode so they can hate on you. And it's like, you know what? I thank you for.
No, I swear, some people are subscribed to my channel just to immediately dislike it when it gets uploaded. Because I'll put out a 10-minute video, and in the first like 15 seconds of it being live, there's a dislike. It's like, you did not watch that video.
like,
You just
no way.
subscribed to me
Yeah.
to get a notification so you could hate me
immediately dislike it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's fun.
So funny.
Whenever I had a viral video, and we did quite a few of them, me and this guy right here. You'd always notice that your audience was not there when you're getting a ton of hate, which is good, because that's how you know, like, oh, like a whole waterfall of new people are coming in, which is great news.
Yeah.
So it's really, I don't know, man. It depends on how you see it, because I did live comedy, Nikki did live comedy for a long time. Like, we've had people tell us that we were not good to our face. So reading it online really isn't nearly as bad for me.
It's only a bad feeling when it's something that I believe personally, like deep down, that I'm hoping no one else sees, and then someone points it out.
Yeah.
Then I feel like, fuck.
Yeah.
Like, it's like the one thing. Like, there's so many things you can say. Like, you can say, oh, you look ugly, or you're dumb, or whatever. And then there's just like one little trigger that someone can say, and I'm like, fuck. And that's what drives me crazy. But it's only because of me.
And then what do you do? Do you go into a self-care routine, or you just like have that beer
Yeah,
for
exactly.
dinner?
It depends on what time of the month it is. But yeah, sometimes I just like write out a comment, like a response, and then I delete it. It's like writing an email to drafts to somebody just to get out your thoughts and feelings. But really, it's just to me, you know, because I wouldn't really take it that seriously or be emotional if it wasn't something that I hadn't dealt with yet.
Yeah.
And it's just a sign that like, oh, this is still in you psychologically that you need to deal with.
And part of the sounding board thing is she'll come to me and she'll be like, hey, should I post this one?
Yeah.
And then I'll read it and I'm like, oh, I don't know. I'm like, it's really good though, but I don't know about this.
Because I'll just go into
Oh, she'll
somebody.
go in on that. It's great. But it's like super weirdly
back.
defensive as well, and like 3 paragraphs long, so it's like, oh,
Yeah.
you sound like a crazy ex.
It's a cringy
it's true.
clapback.
Yeah. I do that too, and then I erase it, and I'm like, oh, thanks for watching.
Yeah.
And that's
There you
all
go.
I think.
Yes, yeah.
Because that pisses them off even more, and that makes them come back. It's like, all right, cool. Like,
That's the
but
best. Kill 'em
yeah.
with
But then you
kindness.
also have to make sure that you go and say that to some nice people too.
Yes,
Because
that's what-
otherwise, only the negative people are going to do it because they know they can get
Well,
you
that's,
a comment.
that's part of my
true.
karmic balance. So whenever I feel like I should comment to someone, I go through the comments and find like 10 nice comments and respond to them.
Nice.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I like
That's
that.
the jam.
I like that. And I think we have a little news from TK, a little celebrity
Well,
news.
not news. I mean, here's a good tie between Lena Dunham. Oh my God.
Who cares? She's happy.
I know. Khloe Kardashian. So Khloe Kardashian's also mentioned for years now that she wasn't happy at the size she was at. She had lost a lot of weight, then she got with Tristan, got pregnant by Tristan cheated on her, all that other stuff. But she actually lost 33 pounds after she had the baby, which is good because I think, based off of what we saw, Khloe Kardashian did it the healthy way.
Yeah.
You know, there might be some, you know, extra stuff as far as doctors here and there, but we have been seeing her work out. We see her being healthy. She has a show about it.
The Revenge Bug show.
So she has been doing it the healthy way. And even though she's not a size 2, I don't know what size she is now or what size she was.
She looks small. I saw a picture of her.
Yeah, she looks smaller, but like congratulations to her because she's showing the healthy way. And now you don't have to kill. I'm not saying that Lena Dunham has to go and kill herself in the gym.
Right.
But again, if you're gonna post that post and say I'm happier now, at least cite that like I'm eating healthy. You don't have to work out. I don't care about that.
Yeah.
I mean, I would rather you do, but you don't have to do that. At least cite some healthy trait that you have.
Yeah.
Not like you post a chunky picture of yourself with a dog and say I'm happier now to be this size. That I don't.
See, I agree with you. That's why
Yeah.
I'm like, this is bullshit.
Yeah, at least say like I eat healthy though, like something where it's just like I'm eating healthy. You guys can, you know, take me to church with all that stuff, but I'm eating healthy and my doctor says I'm good.
Yeah, no more cottage cheese after midnight now.
Yeah, so you know,
Something.
like that.
Or like I love myself and that's why I'm gonna continue working on it. Or,
Right.
you know, something like that. Because she is influencing people no matter if she means to or not. Even if she thinks it's just something she's saying for herself, she's influencing younger girls to basically be like, fuck it, I don't need to do anything.
And the thing too is people don't realize that like you see the difference between somebody who in their 40s and who has been healthy all their life. Like, you know, I know a lot of folks who are athletes and they just gave it all up and now they're kind of chunky and now they're feeling all the ailments that they had from their athletic career. And then I know people who are athletes and they kept that healthy lifestyle. They might have gained a, you know, I call it adult weight. They gained that adult weight, but they're still good. They're better than the average.
Yeah.
So you can kind of see you have people dealing with all these injuries. You have people dealing with all these health issues, and you're like, it just makes sense. You're gonna wonder why does this person have this disease, but you've seen them eating McDonald's every day. Like it all connects. So if you want to live healthy and, you know, live your dog, then eat healthy.
I'm gonna have to follow up with Lena and see what her diet is.
Oh, and then of course there's people with thyroid disease, like thyroid problems that like they are eating healthy and they just can't get the weight off or get the
I do
fat
think
off.
that's probably a lot smaller percentage than what people like to claim.
yeah.
I
'Cause, like,
agree.
how do I know 10 people with thyroid? Like, there's no
Everybody
way.
got thyroid, exactly. Give me a break, man.
But we are actually going to do our new segment called Fit Club 5. And the way it works is we're going to ask you kind of 5 rapid fire questions. You say the first thing that comes to your head. And I think we haven't done this before, but I think we'll just have you guys say the answer at the same time. And
Okay.
hopefully we'll hear it.
Okay.
TK, are you ready?
All right, here we go. So last person you text.
Probably Steve.
Yeah, definitely Nikki.
Yeah.
Dream dinner guest.
Eminem.
Denzel Washington.
Ooh, I like that one. Favorite junk food.
Ooh,
Soured worms.
nachos.
I love the
Why did I say
sour
nachos? I literally never eat nachos. Guacamole is what I was thinking.
Cake or ice cream.
Cake.
Cake.
Ice cream people can rot.
I just need them separate.
I'm shocked. Wow.
And last question. So if you were on death row, what would be your last meal?
Ooh.
Taco Bell.
Probably pancakes.
God, I'm white trash.
Taco Bell?
Yeah.
Death row. You can
Taco
Taco Bell.
Anything?
I really would.
Anything.
I would. I'm ashamed of
Taco Bell?
myself.
Chalupa, gordita, which one? Well,
I would get a bunch of it. I would
Yeah.
get like $20 worth, which is
Like
like
a
a
box.
freaking
You
feast.
better.
Absolutely. I would ask what's the max price.
Oh my god.
And I would get all that.
he's going out on a high note.
Yeah, oh yeah.
Either pancakes or pineapple mushroom pizza.
But also, I would leave a mess behind for those fucks who killed me.
You mean a mess out of your butt?
Yeah, oh, absolutely. Out of
Well,
my.
I mean, when you die, that's what happens.
Yeah.
No matter what you do.
But no matter, but you know, as a little bit of a revenge move,
It's
I
all
could
the Taco
really
Bell.
make it a real mess.
Yeah.
A real stinky mess. And I think that's
Taco Bell it is.
That's the way I would go.
Wow.
Well,
Thank
on
you.
that note,
Revengeful is like you lived your life.
That's just your little way of flipping them off back, you know?
Yeah, that's so you.
Yeah, thank you.
well, I definitely want to thank you guys for joining us. Actually, before we go though,
Yes.
I do have to know, you guys have this picture, epic picture. You're in the wedding outfit, in the wedding gear, and you're at Chipotle. How
Yes.
did that happen? How did you get there?
Oh, immediately after the ceremony, we took a trolley there.
We went to Chipotle.
Yeah, we went to Chipotle.
For our
Well, they
friend.
don't-
Was it
they-
planned?
Yeah, it was
meal.
planned. They don't deliver.
Yeah.
Well, they didn't know. It wasn't planned with them.
Yeah.
We just walked in with our full bridal party, went through the line, like
Yeah.
waited in line, everything, and I was surprised they didn't give like some sort of like, yay, you got married
Right.
kind of
Discount.
thing. They were
Like-
just like, they just treated us like we were.
This in LA?
No, this is Santa
this is Santa
Barbara.
Barbara.
They just treated
Like, give
us
us
like
10%
we were-
off or something, you monster.
Well, they weren't even like, oh, congratulations.
No,
They were
nothing.
just like,
They're
okay,
like, okay,
that'll be
yeah.
$22.50.
But yeah, put your pin in.
Guac
It's
is
like,
extra. Is that okay?
Did you ask for the manager?
No.
No.
there you go.
Is that you though? That's what you do?
It was
Like,
more
excuse me, can I speak to the manager now?
I went to dinner, so I'm in the middle of my birth season. It's 6 weeks long. We went to dinner at Magic Castle, and my friends, the friends that I took with me, they don't know that you can get so much free stuff on any occasion. So like they were missing the boat. So I was like, hey, it's my birthday. And he's like, oh, really? So I got a little button, got all that stuff, and the whole table got free champagne. I got my cake and my ice cream.
Oh,
that's sick.
right.
Note to self.
Like,
off to
you
Magic
didn't know
Castle.
that?
No.
Anywhere. Even so, when you go there, like, because you just never know. And let's be honest, they're working at Chipotle. They probably just don't want to be there anyway.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
So
I got
it's
that
your,
vibe.
Yeah, it's your
Yeah.
celebration. You're like, hey, can I speak to the manager? Like, by the way, like
We just got married.
we just got married.
You're getting free queso.
Well, we just got married, and the one place we want to go to
Yeah.
is Chipotle. The manager probably would have did something for you.
Yeah,
But it's
true.
funny, the idea of angrily asking for the manager to demand an
No,
act
no,
of
no,
kindness
not
is
angry.
amazing.
Not angry.
Not angry.
But you know what I mean?
Yeah, hey, is the manager there?
I did
Oh,
actually.
yeah.
I did.
Oh, that's a good
Yeah,
inflection.
if you
I
said
like
the
that.
inflection though, that made
Yeah.
it. Can I speak to the manager?
Yeah,
I like
you
that.
get so much free stuff.
gotta roll
I
with
do it.
it.
I do it for 6 weeks. I do like I have birthday events that I have every week. So like for instance, today I have an event that's happening tonight, and I have another one on Friday.
Is that every
And
weekend? It's your birthday?
Pretty much every weekend
That's
for 6
so
weeks.
And every
funny.
manager in LA now knows.
Yeah, yeah.
But you do this for your actual birthday? You're the birthday month girl?
Birthday season, 6 weeks.
I've wanted to meet people like you. I love this thing.
Yeah, well, it's the same thing with the funeral. It's a celebration of life.
There you
and
go.
the thing is, we have so many friends and acquaintances. They have so many different. Like I have people who are wrestlers, who are CrossFitters, who people like to do activities, people who want to be lazy and do. So we can't put them all in the room.
Yeah.
So I want to be able to hang out with them because we're so active during the year.
Yeah.
That it's like, look, you have no excuse now because this is a celebration of my birthday, and this is the event that we're going
And
to, and it's
not-
gonna be on this day.
And not one of you said happy birthday for my half birthday.
I'm so sorry.
Happy birthday.
Thank you.
I
no,
actually.
to me. Half birthday is
Oh,
today.
happy
Your
half birthday.
Yes.
Wait,
Excuse us.
I'm not going to do that.
Excuse
No, I take it
us.
back. I take it back.
On that,
We're on week 6 for her. It's still
Yes,
her birthday.
yes.
Okay,
Yeah,
so
yeah. We're still celebrating
calm
her
down.
birthday.
Calm down. over there.
we got to wrap, but the half birthday still trumps the 6 weeks of birthday. Anyways, guys, my name is Shaka Smith. You can find me on Twitter, Instagram, and Snapchat at Shaka Strong.
Hey, I'm Steve Greene. You can find me on Instagram, Steve Greene Comedy, on YouTube, Steve Greene Comedy.
I'm Nikki Limo. You can just search Nikki Limo and everything will pop up.
And you can find me on everything at TK Trinidad.
We'll see you guys next week.
Bye.
Bye.
From executives Keven Undergaro, Dario Kristen, Tiana Hobson, and the entire BHL staff, we would like to thank you for supporting Black Hollywood Live, the first online broadcast network dedicated to African American entertainment. For questions and comments, contact us. info@blackhollywoodlive.com. Like us on Facebook, tweet us, or Instagram us at BHL Online. And I am the official voice of Black Hollywood Live, Scipio, Instagram at KingXOBay. Thanks for tuning in.
Hollywood
Redefined.
The views expressed here are those of the host only and do not necessarily reflect the views of BHL or its owners or principals.